Once if you have done with your installations, we will see how to verify it. Go to the prompt. Let's say if you have installed the drawing software where you can draw the various block diagrams called Xfig. As you can see, the software is open to draw the figures, edit the figures. We will see some other time how to use this software. Similarly, if you have installed the latex, then type latex. It will show you that so and so version 3 is installed, preloaded. Alright. Since we do not have any file right now, we are not given any this thing. Terminate it. And so on. So the preparation for converting your text files into PDF files, to install the required tools like Xfig, XMGrace, and other tools we will demonstrate some other session. In this session, we will discuss about the latex itself, various files and formats, how to create, how to convert into a PDF file. We have created some templates, 10-12 templates, and we will see what are those templates. These are available on our website, SPIT website, at my department website, spit.ac.in extc, downloadable templates. So you may have you may be writing some assignments, you may be writing some article, you may be writing single column paper, you may be writing double column paper, and that paper you may be sending to a conference, the paper you may be sending to a journal, the paper you may be sending to a transaction. So these are all the examples which we will be discussing. While doing so, probably you may need to include some equations, graphs, plots, block diagrams, references, citation. You have to do that. So these are all the commands where your scripting language takes care. Alright, so like I said, around 13 examples I have created. To begin with simple assignment to your BE, ME, PhD, dissertation, synopsis, thesis, paper, a digest paper, a conference paper, a journal paper, a transaction paper. Finally, the 13th example is about your presentation slides, how to prepare by using latex. Let's see one after another. If you press that tab, it will give the rest of the name. Okay, so let's see some examples. I told you can use different editors. I am using gedit, is the editor name, and name of the file you would like to type. or create. I already created. In your case, you have to create. And symbol will keep that window active. Okay, so this is the initial commands, set of commands. Like I said, including the some functions, right? Maybe you may be having sub figures, sub equations, and so on. So probably is a script. When you start your document, we always say document class 12 point, as I was telling. In the script itself, we mention what is the size of the character, and A4 paper, single side paper, is an article. The class is an article. So this decides the document class. If you want to convert this into some other conference paper, journal paper, double column form, it is just a changing this single line. That fast you can convert from one style to another style. So this is a document class. After that, some few libraries we have used, including geometry, left margin, right margin, top margin, bottom margin. We have specified how much margin you want to leave, is again a script. After that, if you see the begin document, like we said earlier, begin slide, here we are saying begin document. So between begin document and end document, your document is created. These are all few commands. You can see the color also is not same. A text is in black color, however your commands are in either green or red color. After begin document, when you say begin center, after that whatever you type will appear in the center of your screen. And if this contents, if you want to have a bigger character, the font size, then say begin large. And after that, when you give two backwards slashes, that means it's a new line. And if you want to terminate it, say end large, end center. And between the title and the text, if you want to give some space, say vertical space, V space, backslash. How much space you want? We said 5 mm. So that much space it will leave. And then your normal text, again we said V space, 2 mm. And no indent with a italic, reviewer 1 we want to display. That means no, you do not want any indentation. So reviewer, comments, whatever you want to give section names. At the end of this, we said if you want response as a bold font, then say BF. So these are the commands. I can share you a document. It's available in the public domain also. What are the commands for latex, which will talks about the characteristics of the text, like underline, bold, italic, large, small, indentation, no indentation, bulleted statements. These are all commands, including the math symbols. I will show you. At the end of the document, say end, that's all. So begin document, end document is actual your PDF. The rest of them are the commands which they don't appear. So you can use any editor. Right now I use gedit, but for that matter you can use any editor. So after that, save that file. Once you save the file, okay, you can see save file, and now you go to the command prompt, say PDF latex space name of the file example1.tex. Okay, so that means we are converting the text file into PDF format. Now you see the compiler has compiled your text file and it has created, otherwise it will show some errors. If there are some any errors in your document, it will show errors. So since no errors are formed, it shows that one page is created and the name of the output file it has created is example1.pdf file and these many bytes, the size of the file. So if you want to see your file, you can use Acrobat Reader, XPDF or Evans, any of these PDF viewer tools, like I said here, right? We have installed Evans, so you can use Evans. Evans, which file you want to view, that is a PDF. Let's say example1.pdf you want to view. Give and symbol so that the page is still active. Active means you can still use the command prompt for some other purpose while this is being used. So this is what you have created. If you see your document, your text file is some contents you said, but now how nicely it has organized. It says your title, center of the text, there is a vertical space, indentation is there, new lines are there, bold font is also there, right? This is how it's a document, image file is created. The assignment, like generally how do you create the assignments? Okay, so this is one example. Let's see some other examples. Okay, in this example, we are using we are including some graphs, okay, and we are also including some equations. So if you see the between the class which we have chosen is again an article. This side, this time 10 pointer is the font size. So these are all your optional choice of scripting. And then begin document, sections if you want to create, say section, then begin figure because you want to include some figures as a part of your text. The figure is you are not included, you are not copy pasted into your text file. It is external file. That file you have to mention, include which is the name of the file. It could be PDF, it could be EPS, it could be PostScript file. So that's why we said begin figure. And we say H for H means here. You want to include here. These are the attributes, H, T, these are all the attributes. Centering means center of the screen. Scale box is the size you want to scale your image. And below the figure, you want to have a caption and the label. Because the label, why we give label is because we refer them in the text by using that label, because label have some numbers. And end of the figure, say the figure is ended here. If you have some, right, that figure if you want to refer in your text, then you have to say \ref is refer, and in the bracket bang. Why bang? Because you have labeled as a bang. So that name, when you say here, What's the advantage? You don't need to give the number to the figure. The latex will assign the number and it will be replaced. The bang, what the bang is some random name, is replaced by the number. So it is your given right name. It could be any name. But latex is replacing that name with the numbers. As you keep on adding the figures, the numbers will be time to time will be changing. If any math symbols you want to include as a part of the text, then put it between the $2, then it will appear as a math symbols. Underscore means subscript if you want to mention that characters. And if you have any equations, right, we say begin equation and end equation, and between begin equation and end equation you type your equation. Again, equation also can have labels. You can see label because equations are also assigned numbers and they are referred in the text. So these are all mentioned between begin equation and equation, the symbols. As a part of the text, if you are mentioning, then you put between the dollars. If you have any math symbols like omega, so this is a backward slash omega, it's a symbol, math symbol. So that's omega symbol will appear. So like that you can refer the document, commands document of the latex, all math symbols, all the scripting language. You can quickly go through it, so that generally at the most what we need to know is how to include the figures, how to include the equations, how to refer the references, how to cite the how to cite the references, how to refer the equations, tables, plots. These are the commands. Ref is the command, right? If you have a array, then you can see array of equations. We say begin equation array, right? And end the equation array. Then in between you can have a array of the numbers or whatever. So you can go through these examples which I have provided in the website public domain. You modify it, right? You just keep on modifying these contents. Then you will come to know, like say in between the text also we itemize, if you want to say begin itemize, end itemize, so that it will be a bulleted statements. If you want to cite some references, you see we have cited some reference, say cite. So what is Utkin? Utkin is any name. This could be random name that we have assigned to the reference. So once you are done with, then you say end the document. All right. So these are all another example of how to use various figures, graphs, references, equations as a part of the document. Now let us see how to convert this document, type document, which is a text file, into a PDF file format. Now let us convert the created text file into PDF form. Go to the terminal, say PDF latex and name of the file example2.tex. Enter. Oh sorry, typing mistake. Okay, so now it has converted your text file into PDF form. Now if you want to see the file, the PDF Evans PDF viewer, you can see your text file is converted into PDF form. Title of your assignment, then you can see the figure is included, your PDF figure with aspect ratio, center, your scale 2.5. Caption is there with, you didn't give the number. The number, if you look at your text file, to the figure you didn't give, you said bank, but that label bank is replaced by some number which is done by the latex itself. And in the text also you have referred figure. Generally in journal papers we say fig, but in assignments we say figure. This is replaced, that bank is replaced by the same number, so you need not bother about the numbers. In between the text also we have used some math symbols, subscript. So $2 if you use, it will have italic and subscript is possible. And now look at the beauty of the equations. All the math symbols, including the omega terms, you see, subscripts, and the numbers. Every equation has a number. You also referred those equations, for example 5 and 6, as a part of the text. So how do you know the number? You are not aware of it, but you are given a label and you have referred that label in the text. You can see the array of equations, array of the numbers, by using array command you have created like that. See all the, how nicely mathematical equations, different symbols you see. You can use them, including special symbols. No need of worry, because these are all the commands. Even they are referred in the text, equation number 16, so and so, like this. And you see the bulleted statements. If you use itemize, then the bulleted statements will come. Numerator, denominator, everything you can have a symbols for that. Alright, so that's the beauty of latex. Just by giving few commands, you can convert your text file into various file formats, including the PDF file. And the equations, all of them, they are just the commands in the script, and it will convert the script into, latex will convert the script into a PDF document by simply saying PDF converter will convert PDF latex and name of the file. So this is another assignment. We will see some more examples. Example number 3. Extension is always, when you create, make sure it is .tex. Okay. So in this example, we are saying 12 point is the font size, A4 size article, margin size we have mentioned, and begin document. Now it's like you have mentioned the name of the institute, panel of examiners, and some tables you want to create. Like you see, the command here is begin table, right? And the H means here only, there only the table should appear. And then your table, end of table. Again another table, begin table, end table. bold font, text, and so on. So these are all some, I'm just keep on saying the commands. Some commands you have to repeatedly use it again and again whenever you are creating multiple tables. Or if you want to have a horizontal line, say H line. H line means horizontal line. Okay. Two backslashes means new line. If you want to reduce the vertical space, you see minus is given. If you don't give minus, it is a space will be added. Now here space will be reduced. Okay, so like that. So you can refer various commands and you should practice. The first, before you create your document, first practice all the commands, useful commands. How to switch from one column to another column by using some symbols and symbol and so on. So let us convert this into a PDF file. So PDF latex and name of the file. Now it has converted. Now let us see the name of the file. Now you can see, how nicely a table is created with purpose is you want to appoint some examiners. So panel of examiners, student roll call number, everything, supervisor, co-supervisor, and the panel of examiners and their affiliation, bold font, 2 columns, horizontal line. So everything is a command in latex. New page is also a command. You said space and so on. Okay, no graphical tools here like drag and drop it. Every single thing what you want to appear on your screen, on your PDF is a command you have to give in your text file, and the latex will convert that command into reality. So this is the example for. So we have seen how to create a document for assignments, various assignments. Now we will see a document, how to create a document for synopsis. Synopsis is a document which is consolidated work of your projects, UG, PG, PhD thesis. Synopsis you have to write, which cannot be more than 5 to 10 pages. There are some standard formats are there, including IITs, they give some format. Some universities also now following, giving the guidelines for how to write a synopsis. So let's see how the synopsis looks like. So a synopsis is first of all your outcome of your research work. It may consist of some title, your affiliation, and the people involved, your guide, or if a group of team, institute or university logo, and the department which you belong to, and the year which you have finished your work. I'm sure there will be a certificate saying that you have fulfilled so and so and the requirements. So naturally somebody has to certify with institute logo and the department. Synopsis consists of abstract, like I said in the paper writing also, which speaks about your current work and your own contributions and some conclusions drawn from your research. And then about your research objectives, if you have done some brief literature survey, you can see I have referred the references. The rules I have already mentioned in my previous video. If you have more than one reference, then you see separate by a comma. These references are always in a square bracket. A synopsis may consist of overall diagram of your system with some symbols, with a caption. Caption have a number which we don't give it. Latex assign the number. It may have some titles, problem statement, summary, your work, and finally the references. You can see the references. The standard I told you, author, title, publisher. Publisher is always in italic, and the title is always in the quotations, open quotes and close quotes, separated by a comma. And then where it is published, year, volume, has to be in the same order. It's not a choice. And these reference numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, they are supposed to be referred in the text, right? It's not a choice, right? They are referred. See, the numbers are referred in the same order. It's not that 10th reference is referred first, then first is referred later on. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the same order you should refer. Or if you have more than one reference, then separate by a comma, like that. So this is a standard of a synopsis, or even a paper, or even a thesis. But only thing is, synopsis is a brief. Like I mentioned, synopsis doesn't have sections and subsections. Synopsis has titles, few titles, objectives, literature, results, discussion, conclusion, references. No sections and subsections, no double column, nothing. But synopsis is a pre-approval before you submit the thesis. So that's why there is a certification is there that who has done and the candidate has fulfilled the requirement or not. So now look at the text file for that. In text file, how, as you have seen, what are the things we have included? We have included not only the text, we also included the logo, institute logo. We have included different pages, certificate file, title page, and the contents. So how to include? They are not necessary that all of them are there in single file. Not necessary. You can see, for example, in my directory, I have synopsis is my main file, but SPIT logo.pdf is another file, and BE certificate is another file, BE title page is another file. So all of them are different files, right? For example, let us look at the main file, which is synopsis. So this is my main page. Synopsis cannot be more than 5 to 10 pages. And document class is an A4 paper, article, single-sided, 12 point. Geometry is also mentioned. Now here you see input command. Input command means I am referring some other files, right? They are not part of this text. So title page, certificate page, I didn't type in this document, since across the university they are same, except few changes we have to make. So I am including those files into that. So they are separate files. Title and certificate is separate files. Page break, you see, page break. That means after this certificate, I want to have a break. And the page numbers Also, I'm mentioning page numbering is Arabic. When I have a sections, I do not want any numbers to sections, so that's why I had given a symbol, asterisk symbol, and it is abstract. I want before the section, I want some horizontal space, so I said H space. And after that, the remaining sections without numbering, that's why I had given asterisk symbol. Abstract, objectives, literature review. Now you look at the citation, tilde, you have to always, citation has to start with tilde symbol, then cite, then which reference. The reference, it could be some names. You can give your own names, XYZ, PQRS, whatever. But the same label should be used in the references also, so that these names are replaced with the numbers. And if you have a new paragraph, say \par paragraph. So this is the citation. If you have any figures, then say, like I said in the past, begin figure, end figure, in between, you say center, include the figure, scaling, by what dimension you want to scale it, you want to multiply, you want to reduce, you can mention, end center. A figure will have a caption, right? And it also has a here, tape space, whatever you want to mention, you can mention. If you want to have some extra space, give the extra space. So as your wish, commands are your wish. Latex will convert your command into reality. So here also we have mentioned itemize, begin item, end item, page break, new page. Now look at the bibliography. When you create your references, look at how to create references. BB item, that means a new, whenever you say BB item means you want to create a new references. Every BB item in curly brackets give some name, so that this name and your citation name should be the same, so that it will replace these names with the numbers. And it's done. Whenever you recompile it, again it will do that. So what is the standard format of a reference? First the authors, then you can see the open quote. Open quote is not double quote we generally use. It will give a wrong this thing. You always use the tilde, press shift and tilde, that is the open quote, and this is the end quote. And since after your title you want italic, so text IT is italic one, right? And some space if you want to give, you can give the space, but these are the, and of course every reference as a new BB item, and it should have a label, because labels are replaced by numbers. End of your bibliography, say end of the bibliography, and end of the document, say end document. So that's what is exactly your document is created, right? Again, let's see once again. You see exactly, it doesn't have any numbers. Your titles doesn't have any numbers because we had given asterisk symbol. Look at your certificate and front page, though we didn't typed in main document, but since we have included the text file, then it's automatically converted into image file. So no need of including everything in one single document. You can have multiple documents, and they could be included, they could be excluded also by giving comment symbols. Figures, figure numbers, references, reference numbers, citation is a part and parcel of LaTeX scripting language. Alright, so this is how one can prepare a synopsis and convert your synopsis into a PDF. Like I was saying that here in the beginning of my text file, right, I have included two external files called title file and certificate file. Let's see how do they looks like. Right, the name of the files are BE title file. So the title file, we say title page, begin title page, some space and so, text bold font you want, the title, some vertical space in between you have left, right? And you also have some logo. So we said begin figure, end figure with the logo external file. SPIT logo is not included in the text file. It's always, figures are always external, plots are always external, except tables. Tables are internal. Commands. End of the title page, we say end title page. And we also said new page. That means the subsequent document will be a new page. So this is one file which we have included in the main file. Similarly, we have included another page called certificate. So again, the certificate, you can see some spaces and all, and the people who are involved in certifying the document with horizontal space, because for signature some space is required, bold font for the name of the examiners, center, figure, because SPIT logo again you have included, begin figure, end figure, some scaling, aspect ratio, and end of the document you are also mentioned affiliation, year, end center, new page, because you want again no other contents in this page. It should display a new page for the rest of the contents. So 3 text files are included externally in the main file, and we have converted that into, like I was telling how a C programs are written, you can have multiple C files. They can convert multiple object files, and linker will link all object files into one single binary file. So here also in LaTeX the same thing is happening. So we have seen how to write a assignment and multiple assignments, types of assignments, and we also seen how to write a synopsis. Synopsis is a valid document. It has a specific format. There is no choice into that, and entire university should follow the same format. If you use Microsoft Word, then you are tempted to modify as per your wish, because the tool is providing lot of choices, animations, but that's in an educational institute, they are not acceptable. It's not like a design thinking to make use of all possible, I would say, nuisance in the technical documents, because it will distract the reviewers, examiners, by looking at those background contents. So it should be a plain text, and the text font size, references, everything, there is a standard is there. Nowadays, some softwares are available which will check your contents, your document style, and immediately they will give you a report that your document is not as per the standard. So that's the problem. So no need of verifying by a human. The software is verifying you have followed the rules or not. So let's not get it rejected by the software. So next example we will see. The next example is, let's look at a report writing. At UG program we say project report, at PG we say dissertation, at PhD we say thesis. The difference is for UG programs, it's a group activity, so more than one person may be involved. For PG it's an individual work. For PhD again it's an individual work, but the language is not same. In PhD we always have a different kind of a language called claims or contributions. So slight difference here and will be there. You can go through my templates, but I will refer maybe one report rather than explaining every report. So what is the difference in a report writing? In either UG, PG or PhD. In report writing, first of all there will be index. The first one page will be their index, which talks about how many chapters you are having and how many sections are there, how many subsections are there, in which page they are there. That is a index page. But however, again, this is a painful job of giving the numbers, because every time if you add contents, the page numbers will change, and sections and subsection numbers you should remember. It's a painful job in Microsoft Word, but not in Latex. So better to use Latex. List of figures, right, and all it will automatically create. No need of doing on your own. And your project report, right, somebody has to certify. So title page, your title, your affiliation, your guide, institute logo, and it has to be certified by your guide, head of the department, principal. Examiners will be there, end of the semester, external examiners, internal examiners. It need not be the guide, need not be the head of the department, some other people. So do not mention the names. And as usual, one page abstract, maybe 250 words to 500 words, which speaks about your work, your contribution, your futuristic statements. Now, what you will notice, the first difference is in assignments, in what you have seen is a synopsis, there won't be chapters. However, in thesis, in dissertation, in project report, there will be chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Every chapter has a purpose, not more than 5 to 6 chapters. The first chapter, as usual, is the introductory chapter. Like I already said, that what goes in introduction, the current state of the work, the significance of the work, which is you will be introducing in the chapter. And chapters has some numbers. Rest of the commands like figures, captions, references, citation has to be there. Subsections will be there in the chapter. The numbers are automatically assigned. In synopsis, we didn't give the numbers, but here, yes, you may have, chapter may have sections and subsections. You also, in the first chapter itself, you also talk about the layout of your project report, which chapter is for what purpose. Like say, for example, first is introduction, second is literature survey, third is experimental result, fourth is maybe your conclusion, discussion, and fifth may be a bibliography, and so on. So like that you can mention. Or if you have more methods, then the number of chapters may increase. You can always talk about you have experimented on a different, you have simulated on a different method. So every chapter is a different method, different technique. A report should be a precise, no copy paste things, your own contents, and as I told you, plagiarism check is mandatory for every document, right? It could be a assignment, it could be a synopsis, it could be a thesis, it could be a publication of a paper. Every document plagiarism check report is a mandatory, and you are not supposed to copy more than 10%. If it is copied 10%, more than 10%, then it's a violation. Your degree can be cancelled, right? Or your job, you may lose your job anytime if they come to know that you have copied this work. So it's an offense. Let's not go into copying the things. Write your own document. So that's why nowadays nobody appreciate if you write volume, huge volume of your reports. Be precise. You only write about your contributions, not the data which is available in the public domain. Okay, so there will be chapters, sections, subsections. In the beginning of the chapter, definitely write something about that chapter. What is all about that chapter? You write it, and then, as usual, do that. Then, based on your area of your work, hardware description, or right the methods, the models, the simulation or experimental results, the roadmap. These are all based on project to proper. But finally, conclusion is again a short and sweet conclusion without having any references and citations, any figures or tables, nothing is required. In conclusion, here it's all about your philosophical things about your achievements and your futuristic statements you can mention in the conclusion. Bibliography as it is the way I have mentioned earlier also in the synopsis or the publications, you standard way of referring, citing the references. So there is no here argument here that case to case it won't be different, it is same. So that is how you can create this thing. Let us see, I mean, what is that, how many pages I said. You can see now my literature review is a, bibliography is a different file, introduction is a different file, hardware is a different file, conclusion is a different file, SPIT logo is a different file, certificates are a different file, title is a different file, abstract is a different file. So when I create a report, all the contents are not in single file. Everything is a different file. Let's see a few examples. For example, gedit, the abstract to begin with. Nothing is there. It is just a plain text. If you remember, I said begin abstract, end abstract. Now see, this is not a complete document. This is only part of my report where I am saying abstract. So begin abstract and extract is how you have to mention. This is one document, but here nothing, no style, nothing is mentioned because it is part of my main document. Similarly, we already seen the certificates, right? Let us see, conclusion is same as abstract. If you want to quickly see how the file looks like, gedit, conclusion.txt file. Now you can see this is a chapter, right? I do not want to be part of any chapter. This conclusion itself is a chapter. So backward slash I am saying chapter, and what is the title of the chapter is conclusion. If you have any paragraph, say oblique PAR, it will create a new paragraph. But conclusion doesn't have any references, citations, figures, plots and all. It is a plain text, and outcomes of your research you mention in the conclusion in a short form. Don't describe like in your analysis chapter here. It cannot be not more than 1 page, 1.5 page. All right, so and bibliography. Let's before we see the main document, let's see the bibliography also. Gedit, the bibliography. So the begin the bibliography, end the bibliography, in between, like we have seen in the synopsis, BB item, and then give some caption. The same caption you refer also in the text, so that captions are replaced by numbers. And how do you mention? You see the superscript is, you can use the symbols between $2 symbols if you are using any math symbols. However, the three major things, author, title, publisher, and the volume number, year, the format is same. But look at this, we didn't put it as a part of my main file. I've created because I'm using no every time at different places I'm using. So uh, why to disturb my main file? I create a new file so that only I am modifying only that file, not my complete document. So which is my main file? My main file is report, which includes all these files. Okay, so this is my main file, which as usual, but now see, this is not an article. I said report. This is a report because report consists of chapters, sections, subsections, A4 size, right? And 12 point is the size of the font, and margins I have extensively mentioned. Begin document, page numbering is Roman, and it also uses page breaks, list of figures and so on. So I said list of figures I want, page breaks has to be there, page numbering has to be there. Now you see all inputs, how many inputs I have used. Nothing is there in the part of the main file. My title, my 2 certificates, my abstract, my introduction, my literature survey, every chapter, hardware chapter, software chapter, result chapter, roadmap chapter, conclusion chapters are not part of my main document. I have written separately so that I will focus only that particular chapter. And then end of the document, see, begin document and end document. Nothing is there. It is only a script is there in my main report. Rest of the things are external files. That's the beauty of LaTeX for organization. So I am simply converting now this into a, uh, a report form by simply typing PDF LaTeX and which file? The main file, report.tex. Now you see it has compiled and 20 pages it has created, and name of the file is report.pdf. Now you can see nicely it has appeared. If it has, of course, if it has any errors, definitely to show the errors in which line, that you should carefully look at. Or maybe here if it has not assigned some page numbers, right, the reference numbers, some question mark will appear. So those are the things it is unable to assign the numbers, because it may happen that in the labels you have given a different label, and while referring you had given a different label. Since both of them are not matching, then it will give a question mark. It won't assign the numbers. Like that, look at carefully your document where some you have done some typematic mistakes. So the LaTeX doesn't understand your typematic mistakes. So then your pages, your references, your tables are not appearing the way you want. So that care you have to take. So this is about report writing. There is no much difference between thesis, dissertation and report. Only difference as I already said. But even then, let's look at quickly about the thesis, PhD thesis. So, like I said, now uh, as usual, nothing is there part of my main file. I said PhD certificate, PhD statements. My nomenclature has to be there in thesis, authors, bibliography, conclusion, number of papers as a candidate I have published, not that I have referred. I'm supposed to publish some papers, then only a degree is awarded. So how many papers I have published? So all of them are different files, different text files, and I am focusing only that text file. Otherwise, what will happen in Microsoft Word? If you try to edit something, the whole thing will get affected. Then you will be keep on editing, shifting, scaling the entire document. It's a painful job. Here, if for example, if one chapter there is a problem, I only has to open that chapter and look at, or if I want to add something new, I only open the document, only add that much. So my focus is not diverted. That's the beauty of the scripting language. Okay, so let us uh, look at the report, final report, the thesis, how it looks like. So how your thesis? As usual, there is no much difference, as I said, except your contributions. So your report has a title index page, followed by list of figures, and then your front page, then thesis approval by your examiners, and it has to have some certificate of candidate, this thing, self certification, saying that you are not copied anywhere. That is a mandatory. And abstract, you see, always one page. Nomenclature is there generally in thesis, because I am sure you must be, every report definitely has a mathematical modeling, so naturally you might have used lot of symbols in equations, so they should be consistently same in the entire report. So define in the beginning of the thesis itself how many math symbols you have used and the purpose. Because see, omega could be a frequency, or omega could be something else. Delta t could be a time, delta t could be something else. So when you are defining in your own thesis, be consistent in the entire thesis. That comes under the nomenclature. It's a mandatory. And since you are also relating some already published work, I'm sure they might have used some short forms of acronyms, but then you cannot keep on mentioning the full form throughout the thesis. So better, it's again to make it simplify, define in the beginning itself, so which acronyms you have used and their full form, and then the rest of the chapters you can use the short form of the those acronyms. So your thesis definitely will have chapters. Beginning of the chapter, describe about the chapter, like as I said, introduction, motivation, objectives, layout of your thesis. Literature is very, very important nowadays, because it's not that you are doing, other people are also doing. What they have contributed has to be there. Like as I said, hardware, software, your simulation result, and your futurist statement conclusion. Some appendix. See, some certain time, sometimes, right, you do not want to put everything in your thesis, because that's not your contribution. Or even if you have done some mathematical calculations, to avoid the distraction from the main contributions, put that at the end of your thesis, saying these are some more things which you have worked on it. That's called put a appendix chapter. One is bibliography has to be there, but then generally in MTech and PhD, nowadays you can do it in BTech also, called how many publications you have done as a candidate. Otherwise you won't get a Doctor of Philosophy. So you must mention how many conference papers you have published. These are all my papers. And then how many journal papers you have published, so that the university will give a degree for your work. At the end, generally they are not in other reports. The thesis mention about yourself also. And since thesis is a long-term work, generally minimum 3 to 4 years is minimum. Some people also take 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Acknowledgement generally will be there, because it's you might have met several people, several researchers, so they might have also helped you in your long journey. So it's okay, nothing wrong in acknowledging whoever has helped you in that. But this is not a praising something, it is a acknowledging, saying that you have referred them. Particularly research laboratories, if you have used some other institutes' research laboratories, acknowledge their equipment, the tools, the people who have helped you out in your thesis. So this is, like I said, but even then, this is not part of my main document. This I'm only created a number of files, and I'm included by using command called input command. As and when I do, if you do not want, if your guide says, oh, I don't require, you don't need to keep on deleting the things. You just only comment. For example, here, if you do not want something, I'll put a percentage comment. Now you see, its color, it has become a blue color. That means now that chapter will appear in my document. If you do not want, again delete that comment. As simple as that. Okay. So this is what I want to say about the beauty of latex for creating assignments, synopsis, thesis, and all. Finally, let us see the technical papers. Papers are conference papers, papers are journal papers, papers are transactions with a slight difference. That slight difference I will highlight.